Hello everybody, welcome to Dark Souls 2. More specifically, this is going to be my walkthrough to Dark Souls 2, The Scholar of the First Sin. I'm aware that I'm very late to this party, but it is the only Souls game that I haven't made a walkthrough for yet, and I feel remiss not to get it completed whilst there aren't too many games being released. So let's get this done. So let's start out then. So I've obviously skipped past all of the beginning cutscenes and that kind of stuff, and you're going to wake up in things Betwixt. And obviously just kind of walk forward. You're going to see all these little imp things. Right now, these are non-aggressive. They do become aggressive on New Game Plus, but you'll obviously have equipment for that when you're doing that. So you can pretty much just run past them. What you're going to want to do first, though, is you're going to want to come over to this right-hand side so we can pick ourselves up a little item over here. Rusted coin. I don't know why. When I did a little bit of a, I don't want to say a test character, but I did a bit of a, just to scout around the first area with another character. For some reason, I came back here after visiting some witches that we're about to see in a second. And that coin wasn't there anymore, even though I hadn't collected it. So I don't know if there's some kind of timed reason to get that. It's not essential. It just basically temporarily raises your item discovery for a small amount of time. But it's worth grabbing. Okay, so next then we're going to be heading into character creation. Let's get through this stuff. I probably shouldn't actually skip through all of this. I should be taking photos when I think about it. But it's not a problem right now. Andraste. This is our character name. Fairly soon I'm actually going to have some merch for this lady. It's going to be pretty cool.
At least you know your own name.
I'm actually gonna go slow here and take some pictures.
Here's your reward for sharing. It's a human effigy. Take a closer look. Who do you think it's supposed to be? Think back, deep into your past. Yes, it's an effigy of you.
Cool. So we're into character creation here. This is actually fairly in-depth if you want it to be. So the most important thing for me to talk to you guys about here is the classes that you want to pick. If you want a challenge, go for the deprived. Lowest level, very even stats. Good if you want to go with a mundane build, or they're not really essential. Which is a very, very strange kind of weapon modification you can make where weapons scale off of your lowest current stat. It's very strange. Probably quite interesting. Very much, if you want to get to like max level in the game, probably pretty cool. I don't really bother with the Explorer. Its main advantage is it starts with a load of consumables. The Faris Lockstone is probably worthy of note, but I'm just not really a fan. I'm obviously going to be going with the Sorcerer. That is the quintessential character for this channel. Cleric then, for those that want to be using miracles. Lightning is okay in this game actually. So if you want a healer stroke caster, he's actually pretty good pick. As for if you want to pick a melee, you can have the swordsman for dex, the knight for starting out a little more tanky, and the warrior a bit more aggressively as a strength build. Maybe a quality build. I'll leave that to you guys. We're obviously going to be going with the sorcerer here. So let's talk about gifts here. None of these are completely outstanding, and as far as I'm aware, none of them you can't get later on in the game anyway. Life ring isn't terrible if you're feeling really, really nervous. 10% extra health from this one. Just maybe you might survive an extra hit a few times. It's not really going to help in boss fights though, so I don't tend to recommend it. Human effigy, not bad. So the item that we just used to allow ourselves to create a character. From now on, if we die, we'll lose health. And each time you die, you lose 10% of your health until it gets to 50%, and then it stops there. Human effigy allows you to return to human form, which stops that from happening. So you can get an extra one. These are farmable though, so I probably wouldn't do that. And the same goes for healing wares. And the homeward bone. We're going to get some of these almost pretty much straight off the bat anyway. I'm going to show you where some of those are. Seed Tree of the Giants is kind of a PvP item, bit of a strange thing to start out with. Petrified Something gives you a random item from a big long list from a crow. I'll probably show you guys later on in this episode about that. My pick is usually the Bonfire Ascetic. I'll probably talk about it later when we actually get to using it, but in fact, no, I'll talk about it now. So the bonfire aesthetic is an interesting item that allows you to upgrade the level of an area after you've defeated its boss. So what I mean by that is, if you defeat a boss, and there happens to be something you want in that area, whether that's see if we can't get a better face here. I find randomizing like that is just generally better. Yeah, it's not the worst actually. Let's get some long hair on. What was I saying? So yeah, if you defeat the boss of an area, you decide you want more stuff from that area, or there's a particular boss soul that you want more copies of, you can use the bonfire aesthetic to effectively turn the area into New Game Plus, which is like a harder variant of the area. And then you will basically reset it and be able to get all the items that you want again. So quite useful. So eye colour without bluey green. Hair colour has to be red. Darky red, yeah, that's good. So I'm just doing this the quickish way. If you come over to advanced settings, you can play with pretty much everything. Just do it with the face anyway. You can't really affect the body very much, which is kind of a shame, but everything else you can create some monstrosities, but also some kind of nice looking characters out of this, if you guys wish to. But anyway, that's going to be me finished. Andraste has been created. The only thing missing really is a bit of face paint, I suppose. There really isn't any, is there? See if there's any over this way. No. Guessing people colour eyeliner. It's just the wrong thing. Shadow. Yeah, there's nothing else we can put on there. Usually I like to put a bit of face paint on it, but that's not going to be happening. So it's time for us to continue forward. Hopefully it didn't take too long with that.
Come here for the same reason, to break the curse. You're no different, I should think. Doesn't stand a chance.
Not right now. We're all late though.
You never know.
Enjoy the cackling witches.
Go through the door and trot along to the kingdom. But remember, hold on to your souls. They're all that keep you from going hollow. Oh, I'll fool you no longer. You lose your souls. All of them. Over and over again.
Not likely. Probably a couple of enemies in this game that might make me drop them a couple of times, but it's unlikely we're going to lose any. So now that we're kind of set up then, first up, talk to this lady. She's going to give us another item. Or at least I thought she did. Anyway, up here we're actually going to get a chest. Why did she not give me an item? Maybe it's after I kill the Cyclops. We'll go do that first. I'm positive she gives you a ladle or something. We'll come back here in a second. So next order of business then is we want to go back the way we came. So there's two doors in here. This one is Path of Aggression. Feel free to rest at the bonfire if you want to. That's going to essentially create a checkpoint. I'm quite confident we're going to be fine for now though. Obviously our stats have increased considerably. Additionally as well, if you want to use them, you can in fact re-equip your original gear. I'm going to put the gloves on, but I hate the hood so much that I should have changed the skin color. She's really pale. Never mind. She's a pale old witch now. I really don't like the hood very much at all, so I kind of leave that off, just because it doesn't look nice. But if you're feeling worried, you definitely should. Additionally, I'm also going to put this on here. I was going to try to challenge myself to spells only, but right at the beginning of the game, you just don't have enough spells to get through areas. So we'll go with, I will use as many spells as I possibly can to get through but we'll also use some alternatives. Whoa! Oh my god, you got me. I feel like that hitbox was a bit janky there. We thought we were out of the way of it. So note that we currently obviously have some life gems. You're backing off. No, 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 no. Not done with you. Oh, I used the wall. Smart. But try not to use life gems just because at this point they're kind of a limited resource. This is not going to be a bad ring for us specifically. So this basically makes it so that when we hit something, they are more likely to be staggered, which is very, very handy early on in the game when we don't really have any heavy spells or anything that hits particularly heavily. So we're just going to follow this around, and then you can either go straight there, which is going to lead us directly back to the hut, or, as I would recommend, come around to the side here. So of course we're on 1,000 souls, try not to lose these as we go through the next area. A lot of it's actually quite optional, so only follow me through the areas that you kind of want to go into. So Sucking Smooth the Stone is another item now that can give us a random reward. We're actually going to go ahead and use that. You never know what you might get. So you're going to give me the ladle now. No, it must be when we complete the other area then. We'll come back to her in a bit. So when we rest here, we'll reset all of our spells. Again, just bear in mind that right now we don't have any, what's the word? Any heals that are returned to us upon death. Torch, they're pretty important to have. It's kind of its own thing. You're probably going to want to put it... Where do we put it? Put it in... What's there? Oh yeah, we have to light it, that's why. You can light it from this. And you can light the sconces. I can't remember what it is, but I think there's actually something that you can get through lighting all of the sconces in the area. But we can't do all of them until we can get down there where we see the other Cyclops. But we actually need a fairly rare item to go that way. So I probably wouldn't recommend it. Send it off for now. Especially as the rare item that you used to go that way can unlock some much more useful areas. That area really is only useful because of the... Can we see it from here? Yeah, so the sarcophagus, it kind of looks a bit like a boat from here, but there's obviously a wooden little structure in front of where that Cyclops is, and going in there will allow you to change your gender. I don't think it allows you to redo all of your appearance there, which is unfortunate. Would have been a good idea. Now, I think this one is the only one that I would call essential. Yes, yeah, this is the one. So you're going to want to come over this way. Obviously, there's a lot of practice in here for those that want to use it. I recommend one spell, one slash where possible. Just because wasting that extra spell on them is just going to make it so that you burn out of spells really quickly. We will obviously increase this later on and it will become less of a problem. But for now, that's what we're doing. As you can see, staggering the enemies there, quite useful. We're actually going to get much faster cast speed as we go forward through the game as well. We should have, yeah, this guy. I think this guy's supposed to be like a tutorial on the backstab, but I can never get it off. One of this game's weaker things is I can't really do as much backstabbing as you would in other games in the series. But I should have taught you to be careful of ambushes there, but never mind. So this guy's trying to trap you. Doo-doo-doo. So as we get through here then, we're gonna come across, where are we? This is the room with the door. So it's just showing you range enemies cover melee enemies. Life gem if you need it. Nothing on that side. Where's the door? I think there's a breakable door somewhere. That's how I feel. It has been a little while since I played, so I do apologise if I don't remember everything immediately. So we're going to get to this point then. Kick down the ladder. Silky smooth. I quite like this one. It's quite funny. So come over to this item then. And if you got the petrified something as a gift, I think that has like a different drop table. Put that there. And now we have life gem. Probably a pretty bad pickle actually. That can do all sorts of things, from dropping you like big soul items to upgrade materials and all sorts of things. It's probably a good thing that I got a bad one, because if I'd got a really good one, then it'd have been an unfair advantage, I suppose. Right, so now we can go down this way. Grab this. Go across. And here. So, like I was saying, this next area is completely optional. You don't have to come into here, really. You can just push straight forward into what is Majula, but just for the sake of getting things complete, so showing you guys around, we're going to go ahead and go around it. It's coming on through then. I don't know why I shot two at you, but I did. Slashy on. Slashy McSlash. We have learned to jump. So we can go ahead and jump across here. Now, obviously that's kind of a dangerous jump, particularly early on. This is going to give us some herbs. Now if you're a caster, that's actually useful. For everyone else, that is useless. Basically, they are a consumable we can use to get some casts back in our... if we don't have access to a bonfire. Eventually they'll probably be really, really useful, but for now, you're not really going to want to rely on them because you don't have a reliable way to get more. Here we have drop attacks. Do these all say that? No break now. But I want you to come over here, look. Press attack on your way down, do some damage. Finish mark, throw out of the way. Oh my god, actually got hit. Stop that. This is the door I was thinking about. There we are, so we can break this. Kind of just shows you that some doors you can attack and break. Back to area up, that allows you to invade players. I think you can actually do that in this area, so if you're playing in online mode, you could be using that now just to invade somebody, have a little bit of fun if you want to. The PvP of this game still looks really, really active, which is kind of cool to see. But I'm going to play an offline mode for the sake of the walkthrough, just so I can keep things constant. This is just a look at the stuff that is behind the area that we can't go to yet. There's the petrified dude. And basically the basilisks then are, like, they're not the worst enemies in the game, but they're very dangerous. They basically put out a cloud that insta-kills you, which is bad. Also curses you as well, which reduces your maximum health. So, with everything that we can do now then being done, we're going to progress. Now don't worry about if you want to go and speak to the witches again. They do have another role in the game, which is they are able to respec your character when you get certain items, which is quite nice. If you ever want to go back there, we can fast travel back there once we hit the, well, any bonfire really, but specifically for us, it's going to mostly be the one that we get in the village. As we make our way around this path, then you're going to want to come over to this gap on the right hand side. Then you're going to want to drop off again over here. This is particularly important for casters. Maybe not that bit specifically, but this one. Need some binoculars, and that's going to basically allow us to snipe with spells, which is quite amazing. In addition, then, what I also recommend doing is coming straight around this way. I'm going to head... Now, these aren't technically essential, but I'm just going to show you guys where we can get some homemade bones. So, if you picked homemade bones as a starting prize, this is why I recommend against it. Divine Blessing. It's an extra heal. I usually just sell them. There's a guy that we want to do some dealing with, just to kind of progress him along. So having some items that we can sell is a good thing. But we're going to want to come over this way. We'll see Hugo, I believe his name is. And the big lovely sword. Don't get excited, this isn't the real quintessential mage sword. So don't try killing him for it. Got this here. Now there are some enemies in here and a couple of items you could get if you wish to. But once you break the doors, they kind of stay broken and these enemies are a bit annoying. So we are not going to go in there just yet. Can't quite see it very well, but there's a statue just to the right of that door, which is in the way of a switch which opens it. So we need an item to actually to get through there any further. So let's take a quick tour of Majula then, which is kind of home in this game. So let's go left then. It doesn't really matter which way round you want to kind of start out with. We're going to the left. Not really anything in this corner, but here we have the shop. Basically, we have Morlin. The more stuff you buy from him, he'll actually increase the wares and stuff that he'll sell to you. There's nothing that I don't think that I want from him right now, though. Especially as I don't actually intend on improving my my weighted stats all that much. However, if you do have the souls and the equipment load for the Falcon set, this is actually a very good set to start out with. If you want to spend souls on it. Well, I'm going to talk about reasons to and not to do that in probably the beginning of the next episode, because this one's getting a little long now. But now we're just going to grab up for this. Grab up for this. Time that shard. You actually need 2 to make an upgrade, so it's not really enough to do that much with. It's fine. Next up then, we have the drop down. We can't technically get down there just yet. If you drop down there onto that plank, you'll die. Can't get into this building yet, but I'm going to show you guys this NPC. Who sells us some interesting stuff. But if you do want to go down there, the Silver Cat Ring will in fact make it so you can survive that fall, and so you can head down there if you wish to. But I don't recommend it just yet. Especially as that's going to cost you a lot of souls early on in the game, when really you want to be. You'll probably want to be leveling up. This is probably the most important item to find, and this is an Estus Shard. Very shortly we're going to grab ourselves the ability to heal, and that is going to allow us to heal 1 extra time, so probably, essentially in my opinion, pretty good secret to get straight away. Next up then, let's talk about this. Hermit Bones even more, and this is a covenant that you can join. I'm actually going to join a different one because it makes more sense for the walkthrough. That basically makes it so you are unable to summon any friend players into your game, and stops you being able to farm out enemies. Now what I mean by that is... Oh, hello. Follow me all the way to here. That's terrible, these are horrible. Let's try and kill these quickly. Oh my god, they've all followed me. These enemies hurt so much as well. Oh no, they don't. They used to. Just tough. Let's try and get around. And we haven't even rested. That's bad. These pigs are horrible. I don't know why they actually put them in the area. Let's just go and rest the bonfire if it lets me. They're just not worth. They're not worth your time to mess around with. So avoid getting those to aggro on you. They were actually to the right of that building that was at the far end of the village. I didn't realise they'd come that far. So yeah, basically that stops you from gaining the health of allies and makes it so that you can't farm out enemies. So what I mean by that is, in this game then, if you kill an enemy 10 times, it will stop respawning. So this game is, what's the word? Probably less punishing than some of the other games in the series, in the sense that if you're really, really struggling against something, if you can just kill one, you are still progressing. which I mostly like. It's actually going to be very useful for us because I'm actually going to use that mechanic against the game probably in the next episode. Just because there's an area for particularly tough for us to get through as casters because it's very easy to run out of spells. I actually tried to go through the spells only in my little test character I was talking about before, and it just doesn't work. So I'm just going to talk this guy's dialogue out. He's going to ask us if we want to join his covenant. And that's going to give us a ring. Now, technically, if you took the life ring and this ring, then you probably would have a good amount more health than your standard health. This ring isn't amazing. We're probably going to switch it out the moment we get a better ring. But as you can see, a little bit extra health. I think it's like 5%. So with the life ring, you can have 15% more health in total if you're really feeling like you need more HP. But I find it unlikely that you're going to feel that way. I think that's most of it for now. There's nothing else around here. Nothing else around here. And instead then, let's finish off with the Emerald Herald. Quintessential Soul's waifu. Look at her. It's lovely. Alright.
Are you or Beb?
So we're going to do this. She's given our Estus flask. We're going to keep on talking to her. As long as we can power up at the Emerald Heralds, keep talking to her. Then now we can spend some souls to level up. Entirely up to you. My recommendation would technically be 1 point in attunement, or 1 point in intelligence if you're in the same place that I'm in, just for more damage. Attunement's actually going to give you more cast speed and an extra slot, as you can see, which is just going to make casting a little bit better. Now, if you feel like you want more HP, obviously it's not actually bad to be going with some of this. We are going to need endurance and health at some point. But we're gonna make it so that we have enough points to deal with that kind of stuff fairly shortly. For now, I'm basically gonna absolutely power my oh, that's what I want to do. Back to the last menu. Power my intelligence up because I want to make sure that our damage is in a good place for the next video, where we're gonna do a little bit of a grind. I do recommend it because basically there's going to be a Cyclops that we can grind out in the next area. Oh God, go away! Ah! Just walk off. Just walk off. Let's see if we can use that to my advantage. We did get some soul lamps though, so let's do that. That's not what I meant to do. I want to make sure I do anything like this on screen because I know that some people prefer to see absolutely everything. So let's just do this. Also, something else to note, the bonfire aesthetic does not work here for getting an extra Estus shard. I've tried it. It's a shame. I'm assuming it's because there's no boss here. Should be able to get ourselves an extra point. Yeah. So yeah, basically just aiming to be doing crazy damage from a soul arrow, just for now. Just because I want to get to the point where we can one-shot standard enemies fairly quickly so that it's actually somewhat viable for us to continue with mostly spells. Before we finish out then, the next thing you should probably do is put your Estus flask here, take a rest, and I shall see you all in the next video. Thank you for joining me.